Welcome, you are listening Radio Central News. I'm Chandni and now news in detail. The number of coronavirus infection reported in a span of 24 hours remained below 60,000 for the fourth consecutive day on Thursday as India's caseload went past 77 lakh while recoveries have crossed 68 lakh according to the data updated by Union Health Ministry. The COVID-19 caseload mounted to 77,06,946 with 55,839 new infections being reported in a day, while the death toll climbed to 1,16,616 with 702 more fatalities, the data showed. A total of 68,74,518 people have recuperated from the disease, so far pushing the national recovery rate to 89.20%, while the case fatality rate stood at 1.51%. The active cases of coronavirus infection remain below 8 lakh for the sixth consecutive day. There are 7,15,812 active cases of coronavirus infection in the country, which accounts for 9.29% of the total caseload, the data stated. A petition has been filed in the Supreme Court seeking directions to the centre to remove the disparity in the pensionary benefits to the personnel of different armed forces under the Ministry of Home Affairs and the Ministry of Defence. The plea was filed on Wednesday by Bharatiya Janata Party leader and lawyer Ajay Agarwal on behalf of Hamara Desh Hamara Jawan Trust, stated the centre government is applying a hybrid pension scheme which is the mixture of old and new pension scheme to the armed forces personnel under MHA through a notification of January 1, 2004. According to the petition, armed forces come under the Ministry of Defence are the Army, Air Force and Navy, while BSF, CISF, CRPF, ITBP, NCG, SSB and Assam Rifles are armed forces of the Union under MHA as per the clarification issued on August 6, 2004. However, the centre denied the pension under the old scheme and therefore discriminating with the armed forces under the Ministry of Defence while both the forces are armed forces of the Union, it said. The centre had erroneously extended the provisions of notification of December 22, 2003 to the armed forces of MHA even after several representations, it added. A total of 55 complaints, including 3 against Member of Parliaments, were received by Anti-Corruption Ombudsman Lokpal between April and September period of the fiscal, according to official data. Of the total complaints, 22 were against Group A and B category central government officials, 26 against chairperson, members and employees of different boards and corporation, autonomous bodies wholly or partially financed by the centre, and 4 were in other category, it said. It closed 28 complaints after preliminary examination, stated the Lokpal data for 2020-21 updated till the end of September. The Lokpal ordered preliminary inquiry into 13 complaints, 12 by the Central Vigilance Commission and 1 by the Central Bureau of Investigation, it said. President Ram Nath Kovind had on March 23 last year administered the oath of office to Justice Pinaki Chandra Ghosh as the chairperson of Lokpal, the apex body, to inquire and investigate into allegations of corruption against public functionaries. The Lokpal's 8 members were administered the oath by Justice Ghosh on March 27. However, one of the Lokpal member, Justice Ajay Kumar Tripathi, died in May this year. Another member, Justice Dilip B. Bhosle, resigned from the post in January this year. Snapping its 4-session rising streak, equity benchmark Sensex ended 149 points lower on Thursday, tracking losses in index major Reliance Industries, Infosys and ICICI Bank amid weak cues from global markets. The 30-share BSE index settled 148.82 points or 0.37% lower at 40,558.49. The broader NSE Nifty slipped 41.20 points or 0.35% to 11,896.45. IndusLand Bank was the top laggard in the Sensex pack, shedding around 9%, followed by ICICI Bank, Titan, Infosys, HDFC Bank, Nestle India, Sun Pharma and Reliance Industries. On the other hand, NTPC, Bharti Airtel, Bajaj Finance, Axis Bank were among the gainers. Indian market traders on a negative note following bending Asian and global market cues as IMF on Wednesday downgraded its forecast for Asia Pacific region to minus 2.2% in 2020, said Narendra Solkani, head equity research fundamental Anand Rathi. During the afternoon session, markets attempted briefly to scale back losses but failed and remained lackluster with narrow range, he added. On the global front, bourses in Shanghai, Tokyo, and Seoul ended in the red while Hong Kong settled on a positive note. Stock exchanges in Europe were also trading with losses in early deals. Meanwhile, international oil benchmark Brent crude was trading 0.22% higher at USD 41.82 per barrel. That is all for the today's news bulletin. Stay tuned to Radio Central News for more updates.